Anything further?
No, thanks.
I'm gonna just thank the court for its careful attention to this matter, and I'm gonna thank the people for being on the right side of justice all the time. Thank you.
Y'all too mushy for me today.
I know, it's like this is a love day, Mr. Cooper, since you brought out in us. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Ooh, so Mr. Cooper, you can't let us down. I mean, after all of this mush. Okay, I'm ready on Cooper. This is case number 205841101, the people of the state of Michigan, versus Donrico Darius Cooper. And then Mr. Flanagan, I'm trying to figure out why those numbers on my docket again, but Mr. Cooper is charged with attempt police officer assaulting, resisting, obstructing, and today is the day set for sentencing. Appearances, please.
The record, Your Honor, Christina Ritter on behalf of the people.
Janice Stevenson appearing on behalf of Mr. Donrico Cooper. Mr. Cooper, sir, please unmute and say your first, middle, and last names.
Donrico Darius Cooper.
On behalf of the people, are there any additions, deletions, or corrections to the pre-sentence report?
Yes, Judge. There is a minor correction on the face page of the pre-sentence report. The original charges should be count 1 and count 2, police officer assaulting, resisting, and obstructing. The count 1 was amended to attempted police officer assaulting, resisting, obstructing, and count 2 was dismissed per the plea agreement. And that's the only additions, deletions, or corrections that the people have.
All right, on behalf of the defense.
So we are very grateful for the people's correction of that. On behalf of Mr. Cooper, we've had the opportunity to review the pre-sentence investigation.
I apologize. I'm sorry. Ms. Ritter, go back, because I wasn't looking at the sheet when you said it, and now that Ms. Stevenson was so thankful, I don't understand the correction. Say it again. Tell me your correction again.
So the original charges should be 2 counts of police officer assaulting, resisting, and obstructing.
Okay.
Want me to continue, George?
No, and then you dismissed the second count.
Right, and then count 1 was amended to the attempt.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Ms. Stevenson, all right.
Thank you. Mr. Cooper and I have had the opportunity to review the pre-sentence investigation report, Your Honor. We do find it to be factually correct, and we have no additions or deletions at this time, and Mr. Cooper does stand ready for sentencing.
On behalf of the people?
With respect to sentencing, Judge, again, there was a plea agreement to dismiss that second count of police officer assaulting, resisting, and obstructing. There weren't any recommendations from the exam prosecutor, so I will leave it in discretion of the court as to the term of the probation and any other terms and conditions set by the court.
On behalf of the defense.
So if the plea agreement did not speak against the matter being taken pursuant to MCLA 771.1, I'd ask the court to consider that at this time. Your Honor, Mr. Cooper was not aware of the—
Well, let me ask a question, Ms. Stevenson.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning to interrupt you. I'm looking at the date of offense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering, do you want to ask for something else?
Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Thank you, Judge. Thank you. Well, I'm going to ask the court that
is that
I have to
was I supposed to do that? Was I?
Yes.
I mean, I didn't say Ms. Stevenson. I said Ms. Ritter. I asked the prosecutor. not the defense attorney, who was benefited by my interference. I think it was okay for me to do that. All right. So go ahead and ask Miss.
Okay, so subject to my math.
Hold on, Ms. Flanagan. I'm sorry, it's a lot going on for it to be so little going on. Or let me reread Mr. Flanagan's chat. Okay. Okay, thank you. All right, Miss Stevenson.
So if my math does what it's supposed to do, I am going to ask the court and the people to consider taking this matter. Just 1 second, Judge.
I mean, the math is mathing because it's
to consider in my request would be to the people, because this would require the people's consent. Since the plea agreement didn't say anything about any kind of deferment, I would ask the people to consider taking this matter pursuant to the Homes Youthful Trainee Act and the base, because by the time of the incident, Mr. Cooper had not reached his 26th birthday. And the basis of my request really is this pre-sentence investigation report. So I think everybody nowadays knows that it's not the smartest choice for a person to take off running from the police. And as the court has said numerous times, that very often ends in a place where we don't get to talk to Mr. Cooper. So I'm thankful that he's here today. I think that the explanation he offered for his actions makes sense. But I just don't know if it's the wisest choice. And I think it's a course of conduct that, based upon what Mr. Cooper is doing with his life right now, will not be repeated. I think he understands now, looking at the fact that his driver's license is valid. I think he understands just how important the little things are, like making sure your license plate is where it's supposed to be and make sure that everything is fine with your car when you drive.
Are you allocuting for Simpson, or are you asking Ms. Stevenson?
I just jumped ahead, didn't I?
I'm
sorry. Because Mr. Cooper is so, he has aroused my passion. So, and then when the court corrected me on what I should be asking for in terms of sentencing, I just went to a whole nother place. I'm sorry
for
that.
Okay, so Miss Ritter, let's let her, matter of fact, go ahead, Miss Stevenson. Let's let her say it, and I'll ask
because I'm really on a roll. So thank you. So, Mr. Cooper is not likely again to be driving around in his car in a way that is not just perfect, so that he doesn't have to have these kind of mishaps where he draws the attention for reasons other than phenotype, that he doesn't do anything on his own to draw the attention of the police, so that he doesn't have to be scared of what may or may not happen to him and take off running. I am asking the court, because I don't see a nexus between the 26 weeks of anger management the probation department recommended and either the criminal history or the incident charge. It's just the straight resisting, obstructing, reduced down to attempt. And so there was in the police report, no assaultive behavior on the part of Mr. Cooper. And there's nothing assaultive in his criminal history. And I even looked in the evaluation part just to see if there was a mistake in the requesting twice as many anger management classes as are requested when people get into a fight. And it's reiterated in the evaluation and plan. So I'm asking the court not to follow that. I have every expectation that Mr. Cooper, who's being a good dad, if the court had a chance to look at his screensaver there, who has had the benefit of coming up in a good family, has people who love him, that he matters to people. His life and his presence matter to people. I've already given him information so that he can get on top of this and get in touch with Eve and at least, at the very, very, very least, get on the waiting list for a couple of classes that I think the court is going to have him take. But I see great things in Mr. Cooper's future. I see somebody who, you know, because of the time and place where he just happened to land on this earth, made a poor choice. And I'm glad he's here to live past that. I do not expect this behavior to be repeated. I think Mr. Cooper is worthy of HIDA. I think just his career, his grades, you know, that he's back in school and he's doing well and he's going to school like he's supposed to, getting, you know, certificates for perfect attendance, stuff like that, Judge, just leads me to believe that Mr. Cooper is going to be all right. So I am asking the court, with the you know, exception of the 26 weeks of anger management, to follow the probation department's recommendation. I am asking the people to allow this matter to be taken pursuant to the Homes Youthful Training Act.
All right, Mr. Cooper, did you want to make a statement on your own behalf?
No, thank you.
All right, Ms. Ritter, response to Ms. Stevenson's request before the court imposes a sentence.
Yes, Your Honor. So the people always appreciate Ms. Stevenson for being a zealous advocate on behalf of her clients, coupled with the history, Your Honor, and Mr. Cooper's age. I think that the people will consent to HIDA in this matter.
All right, thank you. I'm going to switch over just a moment. I'm going to switch Mr. Cooper. All right. Okay, so Mr. Cooper, number one, I'll start out, you know, on the real good side of except the people have consented to HIDA. So even though you currently are not eligible, meaning based upon your age today, you wouldn't be eligible for HIDA, but based upon the age that you were at the time of the offense, that makes you eligible for HIDA. So the court is going to sentence you to the Homes Youthful Trainee Act. That means going forward, your case will be suppressed. I'm going to place you on probation for 12 months. That's a final review date of June 26, 2025. However, according to the state of the law, you are eligible for discharge after 6 months. So 6 months would be, that will put us into the Christmas holiday. So we're going to bring you back on Friday, January 3rd for review. If you have completed the terms and conditions of your probation, then you will be discharged from probation. At that time, I'm going to set the review for 10:50. I am imposing the following terms of your probation. It sounds like you made a bonehead choice, and I see your rationale. I even will go as far as saying I understand it a little bit, but it was almost like the rationale that you had, you then put yourself in a position to have the same outcome, like to have that same outcome, and I just don't want that. I don't want that for you all. I just don't. So, but I agree with Ms. Stevenson that your future looks bright. I don't think you will repeat that choice. And even based on the circumstances of that particular choice, I think it just was a unfortunate decision that you made, and it endangered your life. But I don't believe that it endangered per se the officers' lives, or it was just a reaction or response that you should not have had. So I am going to impose the following terms. This will be a reporting probation. You cannot violate any criminal law of any governmental unit. That means no new cases. You cannot leave the state without the court's consent, and you must make a truthful report to probation on a monthly basis. You must also notify them immediately of any change of your address, phone number, or employment status. Mr. Cooper, you are going to pay the following fines, costs, and fees. $210 mandatory cost, a $200 fine. I'm going to reduce the supervision fees to $20 a month. So for the 12 months, it's $240. If you are discharged after 6 months, it will only be $120 for that line item. A $50 pre-sentence investigation and substance abuse evaluation fee. Total fines, costs, and fees. $700. Additionally, you shall not use or possess any illegal substances. You shall not use or possess any marijuana without a valid medical marijuana card. You shall not use or possess any opiates without a valid prescription. You shall not drive without a valid driver's license. And then I am going to order the Choices program through eBay. You must pay all outstanding tickets that you have. I was going to say provide proof of your education, but I noticed that you're actually pursuing higher education. So I'll scratch that off. So pay any outstanding tickets. The report says you have a $522 balance on some other cases. So you need to clear that up. You do have a valid license according to the report. And then there was a recommendation for 25 weeks of anger management, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to order anger management at all, actually. I am going to order the Choices program and the Marijuana Insight program because you did test positive for marijuana. I'm not going to order regular random urinalysis, but I am going to indicate that at the discretion of probation, they may ask you to submit to a drug test. And that's going to be my complete order. We will mail a copy of this order to the Lamphere address. Probation will contact you at the phone number ending in 1346. Anything further?
No, thank you.
I'm gonna just thank the court for its careful attention to this matter, and I'm gonna thank the people for being on the right side of justice all the time. Thank you.
Y'all too mushy for me today.
I know, it's like this is a love day. Mr. Cooper, since you brought out in us, thank you.
Oh, okay. Ooh, so Mr. Cooper, you can't let us down. I mean, after all of this mush and you cannot let us down, okay?
I won't.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a great day. Stay safe.
You too.
All right. All right. And then, Ms. Stevenson, I think, other than the jailer, that's going to conclude you all.